Do you trust yourself? Do you have a sense that regardless of what's going on out there or even up here, that you can trust yourself to be with yourself in the moments where it's hard, where it's quiet, where everything feels like it's breaking apart, where you are in your triggered state, where you're in your heightened state and things are just chaos around you? Can you create a sacred pause between all the external chaos and the world breaking apart outside of yourself and the way that you're reacting to the world through your heart, through your body, and come back to that spirit and just take a deep breath and create a sense of trust and grounding within yourself that regardless of what's going on out there, you know that you can meet it. You can meet fear. You can be present with what is real right now and choose a different path. Create capacity to meet yourself differently with what's going on so that you can respond rather than react. This is what I've been working through and realized is the missing thread in me being able to weave together the pathway from where I was and who I was and to where I'm called to go, is that the ability to stop or minimize the shutdown, the tapping out when I feel overwhelmed or I disappoint myself because I didn't show up in a way that I believed I should or could. Two different things. And in the moments where over the last 2 years of rebuilding myself and learning to come home to myself after everything I've been through, everything that I've lost, everything that I've let go of, and something that has really resonated in the last week is that being able to meet people for who they are and who they choose to be. Yes, being a mirror for the potential that you see in them and creating a space for them to choose to step into that potential. And at the same time, taking a step back and allowing their actions to speak for them, letting them be who they are, letting them be the choices and carry the consequences of their choices, both good and bad. And this is as a mother, as the leader and Anishan of the Kilana Foundation, of the work that I do in the world, and sitting with that and even within myself and going, well, you're going to be the one who has to live with the choices that you make. At the end of the day, you can say all the things in the world, and yet it's in your actions and how you show up that you really will show what is important to you or what you're willing to do. Actions are only a small component of it. It's being able to lean into those words from a place of action and alignment. And I've realized every moment where I have shut down or I've regressed or I've fallen over is an opportunity for me to see, are my actions aligning to my words? Are my actions aligning to that inner yearning that I have to come home to myself and to move forward? I have no idea where this pathway is leading. I have a vision of where I'm called to go, but how the journey is going to unfold, how other people are going to walk that journey with me or not, how me being myself in who I truly am in my heart and what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling called to move through the world as I am, and finding that inner peace and trust within myself and trusting that to be how I carry myself and how I move through the world, not from a place of proving myself, but just from a place of presence and truth, that I remain grounded and rooted in who I am. And that's how I show up in all the spaces. I don't need to become someone new because I'm stepping into a new space. I walk into that room like my ancestors called me into that room, knowing who I am, culturally grounded, ancestrally guided, and dreaming led. And the gap has been that I have been tapping out because the gap between who I am and who I need to become, and the life that I'm in now to the life that has stability and a bit more certainty, felt so big that I would just tap out from the weight of it. And rather than meeting myself and being present with those things and creating trust and building capacity within myself, rather than looking at the external change or how much time I perceive it to be, coming home and grounding myself and going, what would this look like if it was easy? What is the next step that I can take to get this done? What can I break it down to? What is the smallest step that I can break it down to so I can create momentum, progress, action towards that task that needs to be done? Because I know what doesn't work. I've been there. So do you have trust in yourself? Do you have grounding in yourself? And can you start to nurture that? Can you start to build that within yourself and plant that seed that you are someone that you can trust with yourself, that you can hold yourself, you can meet yourself? And if you're not there yet, can you become the person that you're not going to let yourself down, that you're not going to break your own heart? And that, what I mean by breaking your own heart is sometimes our heart becomes broken when we have to release versions of ourselves or versions of our life or versions of others that we want them to be, or that we crave or yearn for others to be, or situations to be, for us to fulfill that aspiration or that desired state. The true freedom and power comes when we can meet people for who they are and love them for who they are, not who we want them to be. And in that, the real relationship can be built. In that, the real relationship with yourself and your dreaming can be built, and with your life, and being able to be in it, to be present, because each moment that we choose to come home to ourselves, each moment that we choose to come home to ourselves when our head is just all over the place, when our heart is racing, our body is tense, our breath is short, our breath is all up here, and we stop and we create a moment, whether it's a second or whether it's a minute or more, and we go, is this who I want to be? We create a sacred pause between how we choose to respond rather than react to what's happening both within ourselves and out there, and the actions that we're going to choose. And this is a sacred moment for me of acceptance and of surrender, that there's so much chaos, there's still so much healing, and there's so much to be built, and yet that can all happen in a moment. I'm trusting that in quantum leaps, in collapsing timelines, that everything can change in an instant, both in a powerful, positive, aligned way, and also in an earth-shattering way where things can happen. Life can end like that. Life can shift like that. So the more I can come home to myself, the more I can nurture trust and inner peace and grounding within myself, that regardless of what's going on out there or even up here, when I catch myself, I can create a sacred pause and breathe and take stock of what's going on. I can take an eagle-eye view and go, how do I want to move forward? How do I want to progress? And sitting in the knowledge that how I choose and what I choose next and who I choose next. Do I choose my past and my pain, my ego and my trauma, or do I choose my presence, my power, my peace, my purpose, and my potential? Will determine what creates a ripple effect, will determine what seeds get planted. And this is the practice of the warrior heart. The stuff that I share with you is not in isolation. This isn't something that I've perfected after sitting there for 20 years meditating and that I'm now a master at this. I'm sharing this warrior heart philosophy, principle, practice, legacy, way of being in the world as it's unfolding in my own life experience. Learning how to love myself and love the life that I'm in, not just the life that I'm aspiring to or that I feel called to. And those moments will come when I build the trust within myself that regardless of what's happening externally, and even when I'm strong enough and I've built the foundations, regardless of what's coming up for me up here or going on up here, I can ground myself in my soul and my heart and my body. And I can be guided by my intuition, my ancestors, and my dreaming to make the next most ignited aligned step. And that's where the true power lies. This is the warrior heart. If you want to know more, come and follow my YouTube channel or come and check out my community over on School. And welcome to the practice of the warrior heart.